what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some...
Not your skill at bargaining.
No deal.
Jesus Christ. What happened to you?
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Horror Tuesday. I'm your host, Nadia, and I'm so happy for you to be here with me today as we discuss some horror topics. And now, before we get into it, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That really helps the channel grow. Share this with a horror nerd in your life. Maybe we can be friends. But that being said, today I'm also going to be including my spoiler-free Alien Romulus review. So again, hit that like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So right off the bat, Alien Romulus. I really enjoyed it. Some of you know that in the recent past weeks, I just got into the Alien franchise. I just saw Alien and Aliens. I did a watch party on this channel for both of them. And then to lead into the new movie that I thought I was going to be very scared and terrified of seeing, knowing my fear of space and aliens. After seeing both Aliens, and then Romulus, I'm down to climb with the xenomorphs. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the monster. I'm really interested in the lore, to the point where in the last 2 days after coming home from seeing Romulus, I watched all the movies in the Alien franchise except for Alien versus Predator. Mostly because I have to watch all the Predator movies, because I really want to know where they're coming from in the Alien versus Predator. I know there's 2 movies. I know they're not highly regarded, but I want to do my homework, right? So that being said, spoiler-free review on this. As some of you are probably curious to know if I liked it or not, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I thought that Alvarez really took aspects of both Alien and Aliens and put a very nice little story in between the 2 movies. I know it might be a controversial take. I might like this just slightly more than Aliens. And you're going to be like, Nadia, what is wrong with you? I like the more horror aspect of the franchise. I think that's why I liked Alien more than Aliens. While I don't think Romulus has a very strong story, and it kind of falls apart in the 3rd act a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but it does fall apart a little bit it falls apart in the 3rd act. I can forgive it more so because for me, I'm a visual person, and this is probably one of the most visually appealing movies I've ever seen in the last couple of years. I really thought the cinematography was so well done. The practical effects you could obviously tell that they put a lot of love into this. The sound design alone was great as well. Again, the story was a little weak. There weren't many characters that I related to, but except for Andy, played by David Johnson, I think he stands out of the cast. I thought his performance was stellar. I'm very excited to see what his career will take off to. But yeah, I would say this is definitely a must-see in theaters. If you can spurge, definitely to go see it in IMAX or Dolby, and just immerse yourself into it. Just enjoy it. Just go along for the ride. Is it scary? I wasn't scared at all. Not really. There's a little bit tense moments, but I didn't find it as scary as the first one. But maybe because I'm used to it now. Had I probably gone in and saw Romulus first before even touching the Alien franchise, I could probably say I was scared. Oh, and I do like the upgraded version of the face huggers. They look really gross in this. So again, definitely would say go see it. I give it a 7 out of 10. I'm very excited to see what else Alvarez will do. I really loved his take of Evil Dead. If you call it a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, I really enjoyed it. So I'm a fan. So yeah, go see Alien Romulus. All right, so moving on to the next topic we're going to talk about is something I just want to point out. Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is one of my favorite authors lately. He does a lot of fun books. Where is it? There it is. And I saw this on Twitter, and I thought I would bring this up. So this is his book, Paperbacks from Hell. It's a twisted history of the 70s and 80s horror fiction, and off the bat by these, I think I've read a couple of these, if not somewhere in the lines of this. I actually want to get this book. But I really like Grady Hendrix. He's done some really cool books that I've enjoyed. If you've seen the movie on Amazon, I think it's My Best Friend's Exorcism, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So My Best Friend's Exorcism, Final Girl Support Group, which is a great book, How to Sell a Haunted House. But my favorite book of his is Horror Store, I think it's pronounced, but it's basically a ghost story that takes place in an IKEA department store, like a generic IKEA department. It's, again, recommend. They're fun books. If you like the silliness, the campiness of horror, I would highly recommend. I would be picking up this book because I would be interested to see, especially the visually of the covers. I love painted covers, and back then a lot of things were hand painted. Obviously, didn't have like digital art back then, so it's really cool to see what kind of concept comes from these books. So highly recommend. Again, anything by Grady Hendrix. All right, moving on. Next topic I want to talk about is the Monsterverse games. We're not only getting one game, folks. We're not even getting two. We are getting, I believe, here it is. From Bloody Disgustings, Legendary announces a trio of games. So we're not getting one, not two. We're getting three of them. 3 Monsterverse games. So it has been a while. It's been a while before we get the likes of Godzilla and Kong on the big screen again from Legendary Entertainment. So in the meantime, fans can tide themselves over with not one, but 3 new video games available later this year, courtesy of Legendary collaborators 7 Levels, Tilting Point, and Super Social. Interesting. The first title is Kong Survivor Instincts, which is a 2.5D action adventure game for PC and consoles. Set shortly after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. Interesting. Players are navigating a shattered city through the eyes of a father searching for his missing daughter. Then there will be Godzilla vs. Kong Titan Chasers, a 4X strategy mobile game. And then it looks like there will be a collab with Robolox, which I think I'm the generation. It's not me. It's not me. I don't even know what Roblox are. I know I've seen jokes about them, but I don't know what they are. But they're getting a Monsterverse Super Social Roblox experience where players become Monarch operatives and interacting with fan favorite Titans. That's cool. I'm down the clown with the Godzilla universe. I like the old Godzilla movies. I saw them in film school. So I like Kong movies. I'm always down the clown to go to a Kong versus whatever, Godzilla versus whatever movie. Even if the movie is dog shit, I'm there for the monsters. I'm there for the monster fights. You know, like, I understand there are certain Gundam animes and potentially movies I've only seen the anime, but well, sometimes I'm here for the story. Sometimes I'm here just to see Gundams fight each other and beat the crap out of each other. So, are you going to be checking out these games? I might be if I can get it for console. I unfortunately don't have a PC yet. Yeah, it's a gaming PC. But that also brings up another thing. I want to get a gaming PC because most of the people say I should, since I'm getting into Aliens, I should play Alien Isolation, which I'm probably going to have to wear like 3 pairs of pants for. Because if Legend of Zelda can scare me when spiders are dropping from the trees, then yeah, an Alien Isolation game probably will scare me. So, all right. So the other thing I want to talk about is a new TV show coming soon called Apartment 7. What is Apartment 7, Nadia? Let me tell you guys. Hold on. We do this live. Kind of. Again, another article from Bloody Disgusting. Apartment 7A poster plays tribute to the iconic Rosemary Baby art. this looks fire. I saw this and I was like, is there a series based off Rosemary's Baby? Which, by the way, I have seen the 1968 version. I was like, this is totally cool. So, but then I saw that Julia Garner is going to be in it. And while I really like Julia Garner in Ozarks, I thought she was fantastic. Unfortunately, anything I've seen her outside of Ozarks hasn't really hit home for me. And I'm hoping Ozarks is not where she peaks. So I will still check it out, but I'm not 100% hopeful on it. But this is going to debut on Paramount September 27th, so it's right around the corner. In Apartment 7A, when a struggling young dancer suffers a devastating injury, she finds herself drawn in by dark forces when a peculiar, well-connected older couple promises her a shot at fame. So like an updated version of Rosemary Baby, which, by the way, I highly recommend you check. I don't know if this is going to be good, but I will definitely be seated to check it out. I would be interested to see how they pay homage to Rosemary Baby, but also just keeping don't be a Exorcist believer. Don't mess up with this franchise. This iconic franchise with Rosemary Baby has influenced so many other horror movies. Don't mess it up, man. Like, if you're gonna do it properly. Don't just like throw a name on it and just update it for a modern day audience. Like, give me a concrete story that's going to be good. Speaking of concrete story that's going to be good, there's another TV show that I thought when I saw on Twitter somebody swooped up a poster that, oh, this is fake. There's no way they're doing this. But they are. There's a Conjuring TV show coming out. Did anybody know this? Has anybody read about this? I'm very intrigued by this. So where is it? I told you we do everything live. Here we go. So I went looking because I was like, there's no way. No way. But yes, the Conjuring TV series, confirmation, story, and everything we know. This is from Screen Rant. Warner Bros. Discovery confirms a Conjuring TV show continuing the franchise story. Which, by the way, I thought there's another movie coming out first. So I guess maybe they'll do the movie and then work into the TV show. Which also, by the way, reminds me, when I went to go see Alien Romulus, they gave us like a teaser to Alien Earth, I think it's called, which is, or Alien, what is it? See, I'm gonna have to look it up now. Alien TV show. Is it Alien? I was right. Alien Earth. Alien Earth, which is an upcoming science fiction horror television based on the franchise. It will serve as a prequel, and it will set 3 decades before the events of the 1979 film. Isn't that Prometheus and Covenant? By the way, I saw those two last night. Wow. Oof. A little bit of a tangent, but those were rough. I actually thought Covenant slightly better than Prometheus because I found Prometheus so freaking boring. They're both bad. They're really rough. Really rough watching. I can understand why a lot of fans of the series, maybe not so much into those two, but yeah. But Prometheus is definitely the more boring one. Anyway, I digress. We get back to this. So the cast of the Conjuring show is unknown, but Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, did I say that right? I don't know, may return as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Other previous franchise actors might also appear. They'll continue the story from the feature films, potentially exploring new cases, the Warren incorporating flashback sequences, yada yada. Okay, so couple things. While I think the first Conjuring is very good, the second one is okay. Third one was really boring. Not scary. If you actually know the story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, I don't like how the Conjuring portrays them as this like couple, like hashtag couple goals, because they had a really messed up relationship, and there's like, I haven't looked deep into it, but there's like allegations of him having a mistress that lived with him that was a much younger, like very young, super young, if you get my drift. So there's a lot, but the Conjuring series always portrays them, and it could be because Vera and Patrick has such good chemistry. So that's one problem I have with the series. Again, I think the first one is really good, second one's okay, the third one, and then the spin-offs, The Nun's not that scary to me. I feel like it's just a cash grab. Annabelle 2 as well, though not the first Annabelle. I think there's one Annabelle movie in the series that was pretty good. Recently, friends and I, like a couple months ago, we watched the entire Conjuring series and we watched the entire Insidious series, but we also watched like Annabelle and like movies in between to get ready for the last Insidious Red Door, which is one was interesting as well. But I don't know how I feel about them continuing this. The Conjuring universe also includes the oh man, this is gonna be hard. The Curse of La Llorona, which is inspired by Latin American folklore, which I know a lot of people had issues with that because it didn't actually tell the folklore properly too as well. I didn't watch it because I was kind of getting sick of the whole jump scares that were happening in this universe. While there's one Insidious that really just I won't watch again. I think it might be the third one. Someone with the ghost is an old guy that like haunts a girl that's in an apartment complex. Because there's a one scene that was really weird where she's like auditioning for something, and in the theater it's all black and dark, and then in the background you just see somebody waving, and that freaked me out the first time I saw it. I'm like, what are they waving at? They're just waving. Okay, that's creepy. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about this. Well, I feel sometimes I thought we were supposed to get this dude over here in the corner. I forgot what he's like, the string man or something. I thought we were supposed to get a spin-off movie for him too. Though this might not be the answer. I'm hoping for the announcement came in June. What was the news? Lineup narrative included the Conjureverse feels ripped from being explored in the Conjuring TV series. I don't know, man. I just sometimes a movie is really good, and that's where it should stop. And I get it. This kind of helped bring horror a little bit back into the mainstream because a lot of people who aren't even into horror really enjoy the Conjuring and Insidious series. I just don't know if they can capture the magic of the first and second one. Because the third one was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's called the Devil Made Me Do It, or the Devil Made something to that extent. It's based off again another true story. It's more of a drama. It's not very scary. I mean, I like Patrick Wilson. I'll watch pretty much anything he's in, but I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be for me. I'll check it out. I mean, what am I saying? I say this every time. I say this with American Horror Story. I said, like, no, I'm done. After they burned me so many times, I'm done. And then they show me promos, and they just rope me right back in. Just rope me back in. I don't know why. I let Ryan Murphy do that to me. Anyway, are you going to check out the Conjuring TV show? Did I change your mind on it? I hope not. I hope you check it out. If you're interested in it, you let me know why you're interested in it. Give me the facts. Give me the reasons. Okay, moving on. We have some really cool Elm Street news. Nightmare on Elm Street, for you that don't know what I'm talking about. Nightmare on Elm Street. So, here we go. Which this is really cool. And yes, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street before anybody in the comments like, now you barely haven't seen anything. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street. Again, another bloody disgusting. They've been on their game lately. A Nightmare on Elm Street slashes into 4K Ultra HD this Halloween with an uncut version included, which that just caught me, and I was like, an uncut version? I didn't know there was an uncut version of Nightmare on Elm Street. Uncut version that includes 8 seconds of additional unrated footage. Now that I read that, I'm like, this is my first time I'm reading that. I just saw the title, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to share this with people. 8 seconds. 8 seconds of uncut footage. That's what you're gonna, and then you're gonna highlight that. All right, cool. Anyway, the 1984 film will be available for purchase digital in 4K Ultra HD on October 1st and 4K Blu-ray disc on October 15th. Bloody Disgusting had learned about it exclusively that morning as of writing this article, just in time for the film's 40th anniversary, Wes Craven's original horror classic, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I had a discussion with someone. I think they were talking about Fede Alvarez. He's interested in potentially adding a story to this universe. I don't ever want to say remake because I don't feel his Evil Dead nor Romulus is like a reboot or remake. It's just a story put into that universe. And talking about Kevin Bacon doing Freddy Krueger, and I'm just like, I don't see it. I actually don't. I don't know what actor I would cast as the new Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund has just, there's some chemistry to Freddy. Like it's not only that he's scary, but he's witty, and there's like charming, but you can see the little bit of craziness and just the evil come through. And I don't know if I think because I've seen him only as Freddy Krueger, not talking about that really awful remake, I don't know if I would be able to put someone in that role who could not capture the magic of Robert Englund. Nobody's going to capture that except himself, but just come up to par to what we see Freddy as. Or would you do a different version of Freddy? Would you go a lot darker? Remove the campiness, maybe get a little bit more gritty. I don't know. I feel like you need either somewhat on par or you need a complete opposite, and nowhere in between. You either need somebody who will take the Freddy role and be very have a lot of charisma, have that sense of humor, be able to counter it with the horror aspect, or you need somebody who's just going to balls to the wall crazy, like a Bill Skarsgård Pennywise, like just completely opposite of what Tim Curry was, but it worked, right? It worked within that movie, that storyline, this generation. But I still find the Tim Curry one creepy as well. So I think you need to cast honestly you need to cast an unknown. I don't know why Kevin Bacon. I can't see Kevin Bacon as Freddy Krueger. It just doesn't work in my head for me at all. But who knows? Prove me wrong, man. Just prove me wrong. I'm totally there. You prove me wrong, I'm totally like, I am on your side. Like I am all for Alvarez taking this over after seeing the two, and Don't Breathe, by the way. Don't Breathe is another great movie by him. I would just be intrigued to know how are they gonna recast Freddy Krueger. Anyway, go buy the 4K HD remaster by Physical Media, as we discussed in my last Horror Tuesday. Let's start buying physical media, right? Because who knows, if the world ends and you just have a Blu-ray player to entertain yourself, then you're just going to want that physical media stuff. So before I end this episode of Horror Tuesday, one thing I wanted to share that I did see on Twitter that was Goosebumps. Yeah. Goosebumps, Naya. What? Yeah. If you are a child of the 90s as I am, and you were a weird kid who read a lot like I was, you read a lot of Goosebumps. I read Goosebumps before I read Stephen King. You read Goosebumps teaches you to walk while King will teach you to run. I guess, I don't know. But I thought this was a really cool thread of iconic 90s Goosebumps covers that are all hand-painted, by the way, by Tim Jacobs. It's a weird way to spell Jacobs. I remember this one. That one's The Night of a Living Dummy. That was a freaky book. Monster Blood 2. Oh, Monster Blood 2. Attack of the Mutant. This is the most iconic one that I remember. One Day at Horrorland. Ghost Speech. Man, I wish I had kept all of my Goosebump books. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. How I Got My Shrunken Head. These bring back just such this and Scary Stories to Tell. uh, just and Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then they had the Goosebumps show, and then you have Fear Street when you get a little bit older and this stuff. But I think these books still hold up. I can't wait. Eventually, when I have children, I hope they will enjoy stuff like this as much as I did. Oh, You Can't Scare Me. Shocker on Shock Street. I remember this. Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. And the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Just, I love the attention to details in this. And these are so, any 90s kid will be like, you just show them a cover. They might not know what the title of the book is, but I bet you they'll be like, oh, that's a Goosebumps book. They're just so iconic. And I would love to one day own a print of one of these to hang up. But this one especially. This one was probably the freakiest one I remember reading. And then when they did it on the TV show, it was either the Goosebumps show or Are You Afraid of Dark did a version of similar story where they were like masks that can't come off. Also Season of the Witch, Halloween 3, 2. But I thought these were just so cool, and I wanted to share this with you. And I will link this thread in the description below, as I've linked every article that I've discussed, or Twitter. I always give people credit in below. So that being said, thank you, everybody. I hope you go see Alien Romulus. I hope you enjoy these new segments. Please comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. What are you excited about for the Halloween season upcoming? And until next time, stay spooky.